In this video, you'll learn how to make practice henna cones using acrylic paint. These are the tools that you'll need: some tape, some pins, cellophane whether it's rolled or pre-cut, scissors, or a retractable knife and a metal ruler. To create this beautifully rolled henna cone, we're going to first roll out the cellophane, place down our metal ruler for guidance. The actual size and measurement is not important as it is a template for practicing. Once you've done that, you create a crease by pressing down the cellophane and cut along the crease. With this sheet, you're going to half the cellophane and press down the edges. We're now going to half it one more time and press down the edges for both corners. After pressing the edges, you'll grab your scissors and cut along the creases. This will leave you with 4 pieces of cellophane sheets, which is going to be perfect to practice. These are the measurements of the cellophane sheets. Before rolling, prepare at least 4 small pieces of tape. This will make it easier to roll the cones once it's ready. To roll the cones, place your index finger and your thumb about 1/4 of the way on the sheet. With the other hand, use your fingers to guide the cellophane as you roll it. The thumb supports the movement as you roll. When you first do this, sometimes it can be a little bit messy and you'll find that the cellophane creases. That is perfectly fine. Just pull the tip as you can see and carry on rolling. This will take a little bit of practice. Now insert the pin to make sure that you get the right size of tip and carry on rolling. As you can see, I believe I'm rolling at a 45-degree angle. And now I'm checking whether the pin is secured, and it looks like it's a little bit loose. So I'm going to pull the first piece that we initially rolled from inside and pull it up and carry on creating that rotational motion. And you can see that it's now become a lot tighter, which means this cone is now officially a 0.38 tip size. Once you're happy, grab a piece of tape and secure the tip. Then continue rolling the cone, checking again that the tip is still tight. This looks good. Next, tape along the open seam to make sure that the cone is sealed and does not unravel. Now, time to fill the cone. Take your acrylic paint. The paint that I'm using is from Liquitex in the shade Burnt Umber, I think is pronounced. Squeeze in the acrylic paint directly inside the cone that we just made and gently shake the cone so the paint settles at the bottom. If the paint sticks at the top, just use a small tool, and I used my nails, as you can see, to press down and eventually settled with this craft tool of knife razor blunt edges and push it down, cleaning the edges with wet wipes. The reason why I choose to do that is to avoid wasting the paint, as I want to save as much of it and use it for my designs. Now that the cone is all filled up, we're going to begin to seal the cone. You're now going to use the 3 to 5 pieces of tape that you prepared in advance to seal. If you do manage to create a mess, it's okay, just use a bit of wet wipes and clean it off. Make sure that you check that all of the seams are fully secured with tape to make sure that none of the tape is coming out, and that's precisely what I'm doing now. I can see that there's a little bit of a gap, so we can add a little bit more tape. Now press down the paint along the cone to make sure that it is completely well secured and there is no excess left at the top, to make it easier to seal the cone but also avoid wastage. We're now going to fold the top down in thirds and then fold the corners to make a triangular shape. pressing firmly so it stays shut. This feels tricky at first, but it gets easier with practice. Now tape the fold at the back. Then add more tape across the top. So you can see this is the excess, and I'm just pressing it down with the tape and then using my thumb and index finger to push the corner down to create a nice clean finish. Since we've got two pieces of tape going against each other along the same line, I'm going to use one more tape vertically to seal both of those edges, and the last piece of tape will go around the cone to ensure it is fully sealed. If you see any gaps, you can add a little bit of extra tape. Now those two bits are bothering me a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of extra tape to try and create a better shape for my cone. That is optional, considering it's not for professional use but just for personal use. It doesn't need to look perfect, but pressing down the edges makes it look neat. Check that the tip is still secure and insert the pin to make sure it still fits properly. The final step is to do a check flow. Squeeze the cone to test some lines, some swirls, some humps to make sure that the paint comes out smoothly. And that's how you create your finished acrylic paint cone ready for practice. Thank you so much for spending all this time with me. It truly means the world. For my next upcoming video, it's all about creating different style of domes, so don't forget to subscribe so you can be notified. The first video in this series is the foundation of creating domes, so don't forget to watch it in case you've missed it. And if you'd like to explore more of my designs with me, don't forget to watch this playlist, and I cannot wait to see you there. Thank you so much.